Oh man. Okay, so if you're a fan of the dragon-eating dragon slayers, then this is your chapter. If you're a fan of just the Fairy Tale Guild, eh. Okay, so in this chapter, just an overarching idea of what happens in this is the strongest team in Fairy Tale gets their asses handed to them. The dragon-eating dragon slayers, whatever, they basically take over the thing. Urza is acting wimpy because apparently either her will or her fighting spirit has been cut by this cutting dragon slayer. Gray is having a tough time against the Ash dragon slayer. I'll get into that in a little bit because there's some interesting stuff there. And then Natsu has been destroyed because he landed on a ship. I mean, he probably would have been defeated at this point anyways, even if there was no ship. But he got defeated because he's on a moving object. So there are a few things that I want to talk about in this chapter because overall it's like, okay, well, this is the setting thing. I mean, there's going to be some major things going on after this, but this is basically just like, oh, this is to hype up the new dragon slayers and make them look kind of badass and hot, like make them like seem like they're going to be more of a villain than maybe they are. I don't know. But it's to hype them up more. Because at first we thought, okay, well, it's going to be the Pentadrakes that are going to be the bad guys. Or, well, bad guys. The main, not antagonist, but like the main driving force of this. Now we got these new Dragon Slayers. So this is basically that chapter, to basically set the table for that. Few things I want to talk about, though. So first of all, I have a feeling that the whole, like, I would be more upset about Urza being wimpy and kind of lame up against this cutting dragon slayer if I didn't think that, I know for certain that after this, Urza's going to come back too, and then when they finally fight again, there's going to be some major payback going on. Because I swear to you right now, here and now, that I bet Urza's going to kick her butt, and it's going to be another matchup, and somehow Urza is going to find, maybe she gets an armor that, like, is uncuttable or something, or protects her, and her will can't be cut anymore, or something down the line. And maybe that's where the other dragons come into play, and they, like, I don't know, I'm just off the top of my head, give them some kind of gifts for helping out or something like that. I don't know. That's just me going off here. Either way, I think that Urza's going to get her revenge on Cutter Lady, and that's just going to be some sweet stuff, because I really like all the Urza fights in the series, because I think she really has... She's got way more depth, but she's in her zone when she's fighting people, so that's really cool. Now, as far as that battle goes, I'm really happy to see Wendy go into a Dragon Force mode. It's cool to see that, like, after the whole Tartaros stuff and the Alvarez army stuff, she has kind of learned how to control it a bit more, and she can really just, like, right then and there, she can just go at it, and if she, as a last resort maybe, but, like, she can use it when she needs to, and that's really cool. I like seeing that she has a power-up of her own that she can use. Now, as far as Gray goes, Gray is another character that has a power-up that he can use, that he doesn't normally use, but he can if he accesses it, is the Ice Devil Slayer power, and it's really cool to see him also kind of, like, using that as kind of a last resort slash it's his trump card. It's his trump card. So it's cool to see him kind of accessing that now that he's gotten a little bit more used to using it, and he can use it more on the fly, I guess. But it's cool to see him also using something as a trump card like that when normally he uses his normal ice make magic. So it's kind of, he's got a little bit of both of he's got his Master Auror's magic, and he's got his father's magic. So that's really cool to see. Now, as far as his fight goes with the Skull guy, I don't like the Skull guy's powers. I don't like it at all. It seems like an ass pull. It seems like he could just do whatever he wants. Anything could turn into ash. Oh, whatever. Like, where does it stop? Where does it logically stop and be like, okay, well, he can't do that to this thing. He can't do whatever to this. Is it stop at, like, if he can turn water to ash, which I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, water can't be burned, it can vaporize, but it can't be turned into an actual substance. I don't know, but if he could turn that into ash, where in the world can he where in the world can he be stopped? When does it stop in being like, oh well, he can't turn this into ash, and then that person, whoever ends up fighting him in the end, can defeat him that way. Like I thought Gray was gonna give him some pushback with the Ice Devil magic, because it would be like, oh well, if you could turn regular ice into ash, fine, but the Ice Devil magic is something special and different, and yet all of a sudden, nope, it's not how it goes. So that's I don't know if I like that. And then there's nothing really going on with the other guy and Natsu, so their fight kind of ended. I don't know. Now, the final major point that I want to talk about for this chapter, unless I can think of something different, is Jellal. I recently uploaded a video about my theory, which I'm sure I've already seen other people coming seeing it. I've already seen people on the internet talking about this, and I'm sure I wasn't the very first person to bring it up. 100% wasn't. But it's Jellal and the Water God Dragon. There's another video. I'll leave it in the description. Maybe I'll make a card or something. I don't know. But I'll leave it somewhere. If you haven't already seen it, go watch it. But yeah, so Jellal shows up at the very end of this chapter, and he's confronting Toka, the White Mage. And I'm very interested to see where his story goes. I almost want the next chapter to be entirely about Jellal and the White Mage, Toka, and see where that's going, because it's been a very like B or C story for this point, and I think we're getting to a point where maybe we can put off to the side the Natsu team for a little while. They got their butts handed to them, so let them rest. And now let's see what Jellal's doing, because we don't really have a full picture of what's going on with Jellal. And if I and a bunch of other people are right about Jellal having some kind of connection to the Water God Dragon, eventually it needs to come full circle. So I think I want to see more Jellal and Toko the White Mage and see what they're doing and see how this goes. Like, maybe if I'm right about Jellal being connected to the Water God Dragon, maybe she'll see him, and maybe there'll be some kind of like mental connection, be like, oh hey, there's a thing going on. I don't know. Either way, I want to see more of them. I want to see more. I like Jellal as a character. I think his redemption is great. I want to see more of Jellal anyhow. So I think that's maybe where the next couple of chapters are going to go anyways. I do think that maybe Natsu and the crew can take a maybe a little break. Obviously I don't expect them to go away entirely, but it would be nice to see more of the side stuff coming into play. Maybe focus more on Gajiel and Levy and the others around a bit more. Anyways, those are basically my thoughts on this chapter. This might be a little slightly quicker of a review. I enjoyed this chapter quite a bit. Again, if you're more of a fan of our main characters and whatnot, you probably maybe you did enjoy it, but like maybe you were a little disappointed that they got their butts handed to them. The dragon eating dragon slayers, whatever. the new dragon slayers that made the scene, they're pretty strong. They're pretty strong, and I'm wondering where their placement will be in the future with the Pentadrakes, and who the ultimate like bad guy, I guess, of this arc will be. Where does this go and logically make sense to be like, okay, well, this is the main bad guy. This is maybe the Pentadrakes are more like the Water God Dragon. Maybe all the Pentadrakes are not so mean, and maybe they did some bad things in their past, but they've kind of reformed and they just want to be left alone for a while. And the old guy that is the old guy that is basically handing out this quest is just out for revenge, and he doesn't see that they've reformed in some capacity. And I don't know. We'll see where that goes. But I could see him being the old guy being the main bad guy, and maybe being in charge of the new Dragon Slayers that have just shown up. He's a Dragon Slayer, they're Dragon Slayers, so maybe there's some kind of weird connection, or they team up at some point. And then Natsu and the crew and Fairy Tail in general have to team up with the Pentadrakes. I don't know. Either way, I like this chapter enough. I thought it was a good setup chapter for the future, from some future plot lines and whatnot. I'm looking forward to seeing more Jellal as we go along. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in another video. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Bye bye.